Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. I surely appreciate it here on 100 Yards Football. Today, I got my 2023 NFL draft prospect. He's a young man that plays quarterback at the University of Alabama. His name is Bryce Young. So, one more time, if you like the video today, please come in and share it. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. Bryce Young, California, Yahoo. Out of the great city suburbs of Los Angeles, California, where stars are born. Hollywood. Came to the University of Alabama 2 years ago and see what he's become. The best quarterback in the country by some people, and maybe the number one pick in the 2023 NFL draft. Let me say this about Bryce Young. Even though Alabama lost a very tough football game this past weekend against LSU, and then with the other tough loss against Tennessee, it has not been Bryce Young's fault. In those two games, that gentleman's had 783 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. And let me tell you something, watching them 2 football games right there, that young man did everything he could to will his team to victory. He is a special football player, generational talent. And in both of them games, he kept getting up, he kept coming back. And really not with an outstanding receiving corps. Not like the previous receiving corps that's been at Alabama, like Jalen Waddle, Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith. He's really carried that football team. This year he's had some help with Jameer Gibbs, but when you overall look at his skill set and look what he's done for the University of Alabama, it's been all about Bryce Young. And when you think about great quarterbacks, and I like seeing him play, him being an African-American. I can go back and watch him, Condrich Holloway at Tennessee. That play that Mr. Bryce Young made on Saturday night against LSU, that was vintage Condrich Holloway when he was at Tennessee in the 70s. Then the great Eddie Machane that played at Georgia Tech. Then the great Jimmy Ray that played at Michigan State in the 60s. Then Troy Smith that won the Heisman with Ohio State. Then the great Charlie Ward down there at Florida State. Then Walter Lewis, who played quarterback at the University of Alabama. Then I'm going to tell you what, even though I mentioned African-Americans, he got some little bit of Norm Van Brocklin. That's right, the Norm Van Brocklin that played with the Oregon Ducks in the late 40s, ended up being the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons and winning the championship with the Philadelphia Eagles. That guy's special, man. He's special. Last year, he won the Heisman, 4,800 yards. 47 touchdowns, 7 INTs, and got Alabama to the national championship game. Then this year, you're looking what he's doing, 7 games this year. He's got over 2,100 yards, 20 touchdowns, 1 interception. And the performance he did last Saturday night against LSU, that was vintage Heisman. But I'm going to talk about his skill set. He has an NFL level arm, A+. He's very elusive in the pocket, A+. Elite creation capacity. You ask me what I'm saying about that. Y'all ask him, what does Vincent Turner mean by that? Elite creation capacity. That means when he is in the pocket, he's got eyes in the back of his head. And he's able, when one receiver is covered, he's able to move in the pocket and move his feet and be creative. Then he's got good speed. Some people said last year he ran a 4.44 at the Alabama Pro Day, A+. Very dangerous off the script, A+. Go back to Saturday night against LSU, that outstanding 41-yard touchdown pass he made to the young man, Ja'Cory Brooks. Look what he did in the pocket. He's a precise thrower. What really amazed me about him, when you look at the great passers that's played in the National Football League on the college level, they always able to get the ball to the right spot. Bryce Young can do that, A+. Then his release is fast and crisp, A+. What I mean by that, he's a guy that gets in the pocket and the confidence level just jumps out too because he knows where he's going with the football. Tough, A+. Poise, A+. And he can stand in the pocket, confident. And it's only really 2 quarterbacks in my lifetime on the college level that when I watched him in the pocket, you get chill bumps. That was Tony Robinson at the University of Tennessee in '85. Before he got hurt that year. How he could stand in the pocket and throw that ball. And of course, Dan Marino, when he was at Pitt from 79 to 83. Standing strong in the pocket and being confident, A+ with that grade. And then the one thing that I think separates Bryce Young than any quarterback prospect in this draft, he does a tremendous job keeping his eyes down the field. Think about that. He's not scrambling around. He's like a Patrick Mahomes, always looking when they're scrambling to keep the ball and push the ball down the field. To me, after his performance, the two games, I'm going to go back, that he's lost this season, the Tennessee and LSU, it's not been his fault. 783 yards, 3 touchdowns. To me, Bryce Young, and still, based on the fact, I know earlier I said Stetson Bennett, I still stand by that because he plays for the #1 team in the country. Right now will be my Heisman Trophy winner. Hendon Hooker's plays some outstanding football. Caleb Williams out there, USC has played some outstanding football. But if you really want to go and take the wins out, and Alabama's had 2 really tough losses this year, Bryce Young, to me, even though a lot of people saying C.J. Stroud at Ohio State has not had his Heisman moment, he'll have his Heisman moment when they play Michigan. But I will not argue with you that Bryce Young is still the best player in the country. And if Alabama would have won them 2 games this year, he could have become the first player to win back-to-back Heismans since the great Archie Griffin at the Ohio State Buckeyes. He's an outstanding football player, man. To me, you're looking at what Alabama's done at the quarterback position over the years, from A.J. McCarron, Ken Stabler, Neon Lights on Broadway, Joe Namath, Walter Lewis, Mr. Tua, Jalen Hurts right now has got the Philadelphia Eagles as an undefeated team in the National Football League. Bryce Young, to me, is the best that's came through there in the 2 seasons. It's not even close. And the only concern, if there's any concern about Bryce Young, is his weight. He's going to have to get a little bigger at the next level, but I'm going to tell you this. I don't see him really taking a step back. He's a generational talent. He's got a chance to be best in all of them that came through the National Football League. And the reason I say that, he's played on the biggest stage the last 2 years. 455 yards against Tennessee. This past weekend, 353 against LSU. You can't get no bigger than that. Pressure from all levels. You the team that's been #1 over the last 2 seasons. 15, 20 weeks out of the season. Alabama's the premier program in the country. And you coached by, some people saying, the premier coach in Nick Saban. And he's performed at a high level. I love the young man. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. I surely appreciate it here at 100 Yards Football. And my final words about Bryce Young. California, yay! The city of Compton, the city of Watts, Hollywood. Bryce Young has been Hollywood, down there in Tuscaloosa.